What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Humble Lector, and today we got another figure here, and this is Marvel's Tarantula, which I'm actually quite excited to finally get into my hands. I'm not very familiar with him, but I'm actually really nice to have this figure here, which I'm actually quite excited. So today we are going to check out this figure, go through the articulation, do some comparisons, and of course give you my thoughts and my opinions at the end of the video. So yes, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off here with the packaging, and I really like this kind of retro style. I mean, it's quite an obscure character, but I really like how it all looks, and you know, it just kind of helps you to double your sales, because I'll probably just buy one to display, one inside the box here, because it looks really, really nice. You can check for the QC as well. So nice retro style to it. And of course, if we go on to the back, let's have a quick look at him. From Marvel's Tarantula, a former revolutionary, Tarantula serves New York's criminal underworld as a robber and mercenary. So quick description over here, and now let's just unbox this bad boy up. Okay, so we got the Marvel's Tarantula right off the box, and one thing I want to say here is that he's actually very, very nice to stand because of that huge feet that we have on him. So yes, again, like I mentioned, I'm not very familiar with this character. I always know that I'm not sure whether he was like a bad guy or a good guy, but he always had a very similar design to Spider-Man, which I was finding really, really cool. And so right now we are going to check out the figure, because there isn't any articulation with him. I mean, there isn't any accessory to him. We are only getting this. There's no extra pair of hands. There isn't any extra head sculpt. And yes, that's very, very disappointing. And first thing I want to highlight here is the colors on him, especially when it came to the mask, because in the comics he's more towards black with a little bit of some blue hue. I don't really mind the color design and choice over here. It still looks pretty really cool, because especially it's on a retro cut, so I'm going to give it a nice pass on that. But I know some people might get a little bit upset with it. So this is the first time we got this figure in the Marvel Legends form, so I'm really, really excited to get him here. And what I can say immediately is I do like the head on him. I mean, he does have a good face to him, not too much of details, I would say. Especially if you go on to his bandana, his face mask and all that, it looks pretty alright. It feels like he's actually wearing like a cloth on him. You can still see some details on his ears. You can see some over his eyes, on his creases all around here. So it's pretty cool. So far, not much of any paint defect I see on this figure. And then right now, straight away, if you go down to the body, we have seen this body multiple times. This is the Sunfire or Spider-Man 2099 body mold. So it's still using an older body mold, so you're gonna notice some pins on him. Not too bad, I would say, still overall. But the fact that they didn't give us any accessories, they could have given us a newer body mold over here to, you know, make this more of a value, or maybe some extra pair of hands. But you know, it is what it is. On his chest here, it's all painted on, nothing really special to him. You have some lines all around. You can see that where this is the figure that Hasbro has kind of started to cheap out with this whole set. There's one that will have to take the hit, and it looks like it's this one. And if you look on the legs as well, we have a very simple design. We have the paint on him and all the way to the bottom, but we do have some spikes on his feet here, which looks really cool. They are not detachable, so you gotta be a little bit careful. It does kind of stick in pretty really nice, and like I mentioned before, he is very nice to kind of stand because of all that large feet area, so it's giving him a little bit more surface area on him. And yeah, we're gonna straight on go to articulation. So for the head movement here, as you can see, he does have a disc joint inside, so he's able to tilt up all the way this much. You can go all the way down here. You can of course rotate as much as you want. You do have a little bit of some swivel here. And going on to the arms, you have a nice T. Doesn't really the plastic, not a full T-pose, I would say. Mine's a little bit gummy. And we do have some butterfly joints over here, which does go back quite a fair bit and goes forward as well. And we have some nice bicep swivel. We have the pin jointed elbows here, which goes back this much. Not too bad. And also we do have the rotation on the hands and also a hinge up and down. And going on to the torso here, you can of course crunch forward this much. You can crunch backwards here quite a fair bit. You do have some nice waist swivel. You do have good kind of, what do you call this, the leg splits. I kind of lost my train of thought here. And in terms of the kicking forward, you can go up to 90 degrees here. Pretty nice. And of course you have your pin, your upper thigh swivel, you have your pin jointed knees here as well, and you do nice rotation, and also you do have the excellent ankle pivot, some sideways movement, and also rotation all around. So measuring on this figure, it does stand in at about the 6 to 6.5 inch mark. And here we have him next to some other figures we have reviewed so far. We have the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, and we also have the Rose figure as well. And here we have him next to one of my latest figures here. We have the Retro Kraven, and we also have the Retro Shocker figure here. Okay, so that is it with the Tarantula figure. And for a rating, I'm just gonna give this a nice 6 out of 10. I'm just being generous over here because, again, like I mentioned, there is a full lack of accessories, and in terms of what we can give here, what they gave us here is very limited and very disappointing. They could have given us maybe a newer body mold if they're not gonna give us that much accessories, or maybe, you know, just something from this. So overall, it's still a really good figure to be added into your villains wave, so that is something to look forward to. But all in all, it's a very plain figure. Of course, these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, do click the like and smash the subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. And of course, you'll find me on my socials. You can do so on my Instagram at the Humble Lecter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.